Hey everybody, JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Got a new model in from Ketuo knife to take a look at. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, we got the Ketuo Mini Griffin in today, man. I didn't know that we needed a Mini Griffin, but we got one. So we're looking at M390 with an opening hole, and we have a flipper tab. We have a liner lock with a button here. Top liner lock with a button. No, just a liner lock with a button. And then titanium with shred carbon fiber and a titanium pocket clip. A little short, a little tight on the pocket clip. And then you have a titanium semi-floating backspacer. I think it's a really neat build for sure. Took it down to the garage to get some cutting demonstrated on here, and it came with a fantastic factory edge, guys, and it absolutely blew through the cardboard with no issues whatsoever. And trace cut did have to go upright, but the tip was very acute and very easy to control, so I was able to definitely get some detailed work in there. One thing I did notice while I was down there cutting, the flipper tab for me is a little bit of a hot spot. I do want to choke up in order to be able to get all four fingers onto this one here, and doing so, what I'm feeling is a little bit of discomfort, I think, is the best way I can describe it. I do like the spoon here. I do land on that and it does work well. It is knocked down a little bit, but I think it's just the thinness of that blade stock is why I feel a little uncomfortable when I'm grabbing it. So I would say getting into packages, doing occasional cutting with this one, breaking down an occasional box is going to be comfortable. I also did notice a little bit of the chamfering on the inside of the Mini Griffin here, but it's not as discomforting as the actual flipper tab is here on the index finger for me. I did try to choke up just to see how that would feel, and it's just uncomfortably close for me with the larger hands to that opened area that is the sharpening choil on this particular knife. So I really do think they intended for you to simply be choked up here. I don't know if they could have or would have been able to do anything to extend here, because that front flipper then probably doesn't become accessible if they extend out down here. Yeah, it would overhang the blade a little bit, so I don't know that they could have done anything for that. Maybe just round this off just a touch more, and maybe it helps a little bit, maybe not. Again, I think it has to do with the fact that it is the thickness. So M390, tall flat grind, it was very sharp. It does have, again, a detent ball because it is a button actuated liner lock, so very solid detent, extremely well tuned, easy to hold on to while opening and closing. You know what I haven't tried? Yep, all the deployment methods work great. No issues with those whatsoever. I didn't notice the pocket clip at all. Yeah, very comfortable, just double checking my math. Just double checking to make sure I didn't miss it because I was so focused on this part here. And again, discomfort bordering on hot spot. I don't know that I would call it a hot spot, but I feel like it is bordering. The pocket clip here is reversible, and they do have a filler tab there, and I did check left-handed. I never was able to get the button to activate to disengage it no matter how I was holding it. You may have different mileage and results based off your hand size, but I swallow up the knife pretty well and I'm not hitting it. So I like that. It does take a decent amount of pressure to activate the button to disengage it. Very cool looking piece too. I thought the Griffin was something that was very cool, very different, what you typically see from Reich. I didn't see the tool, and I'll go back and look, and if I need to in the comments, update it, but I didn't see the tool. And actually, it's not that far from here. Hold on. All right, I got the box. Let me just double check and make sure that I'm not missing the tool. Maybe it's underneath the foam. We got some info here. It said something about the pivot, didn't it? Did I miss the pivot? No, just ceramic ball bearings. That's what it's saying is in the pivot. I don't see anything there. And the foam feels like it's glued in. So I don't see a specific tool. So what I'm hoping is with a flathead, you'll be able to simply unscrew it from this side, and I'm hoping this side is captive. And then I think this is the only other screw that I'm seeing that you would need to remove for disassembly. So it looks like just 2-screw construction, which makes me think that stop pin, and there may be another pin here, maybe here, maybe a second pin here to help keep that in place. But it feels really solid. I love the bead blast finish on it. It's very comfortable and very nice looking. Let's do some size comparisons. All right, on the table we have the Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight, and then I brought the Vosteed Hedgehog out here just to show you how mini it is. So I do consider the Manix 2 Lightweight to be a full-sized carry, and I consider this to be more small to medium for the Hedgehog, and I think the Griffin actually kind of lines up nicely with that. Let's do a couple more that I think are really going to help. All right, guys, we have the Wii Hi-Fin XL. I think the Hi-Fin would actually be pretty comparable to the Mini Griffin. And then I have the Mini Growler below that so that you can see the Mini Griffin still a little bit larger than a Mini Growler. But I will actually say the Mini Growler, because it doesn't have that hot spot, a little bit more comfortable where my index finger lands and a little bit more natural in hand than the Mini Griffin is. The Mini Griffin kind of cuts up, so I am landing a little awkward even though I can fit in there. And again, I do feel a little bit of the chamfering on the inside of my fingers, inside of the scales, inside of the fingers. Not, again, hot spot, but discomfort. Like I would say if you're cutting for a bunch of stuff, breaking a bunch of boxes down, cutting, for an extended period of time, it may become a hot spot. All right, let me grab the scale and check the weight on this one. All right, we got the scale out here, guys. Let's cut her on, and she is zeroed. Mini Griffin coming in at 3.5 ounces. Very respectable weight for all titanium construction with an M390 blade. I'm not mad at that at all. Feels about like that as far as the weight of the carry. So what, roughly about an ounce? 1.2 ounces more than the Mini Growler goes, and then the Hedgehog itself comes in at 3.6, so actually pretty comparable to my particular Hedgehog. Let me go ahead and get the scale out of here and we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, based off of my overview, I am going to go ahead and grade this one. I think I got enough information on it. I grade on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 the worst, 10 the best. 7 is the cap for budget knives. This, though, is a premium knife, so it could potentially go higher. What I do like about it is it's extremely well built. I love the fact that it is a button-actuated liner lock with a real detent ball. This works very well. It allows you to have full-length scales on both sides. You don't have to have a hidden nested liner lock. You don't have to have a relief cut to get to the lock bar. So I like all of that. It is a plus. Very well done M390 blade. Came with a good factory edge. Very, very thin and slicey. This would do a lot of cutting and make light work of it. I like the fact that it is a unique design. I like the semi-floating back spacer here. I think that is a nice touch. The pocket clip works well on my jeans, but does not work well on my thicker pants that I have on today because it is cold. So that is a little bit of a knock there. The other thing that's going to be the big knock is going to be that I do feel a little discomfort just in normal use, moderate grip of the actual blade stock here where my finger lands. I don't know if they could have designed anything differently to have that maybe come out a little bit, make that flipper tab a little bit lower profile so that it's only just this top piece exposed, and you put some tighter, small, tighter jimping on that flipper tab. I think it would still work like that. And I would take the pocket clip and just make it a touch longer, bring it out maybe to right about there, and see if that provides some more relief so that it'll go in and out of the pockets of your thicker jeans a little bit better. Having said all that, I do like a lot about this, even though some things hold it back for me. So I'm at a 7.2 on this one. I think that's a very solid score. I think it is a fair score for everything that you're getting here from Ketuo. Unique designs coming from Ketuo. They don't always appeal to everybody with all of their designs. but I think this one is a really cool piece. I think it is unique enough, and I think it's priced well enough too for everything that you're getting here on this one. This is going to be one of those sub $200 knives, and I really like that about this one. Let me know what you think about the Ketuo Mini Griffin down in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit that like button on your way out. I will link Ketuo. I don't have an affiliate with them currently, but I will link this knife if you're interested in it. And if you use any affiliate links that are down in the description below, it does help the channel. So thanks to you if you decide to use those. Special shout out and thanks to my channel members. Guys, I'm out of here. Have a great week. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.